Well, James Gunn is certainly making some huge decisions, casting decisions at the very least, for DC Universe and Superman Legacy, and he's going to be judged on these decisions when these movies are released. Hi, I'm Mick. You are watching my YouTube channel, Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on X at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram, Movies TV Mad X. Make sure you do that. Make sure you click the notification bell here on YouTube so you don't miss the breaking news like the breaking news I'm giving you right now. But by the time you see this video, which will be a Sunday morning, you're probably going to know all about it. But you still need to know what I think about it because my ear is to the ground. I know what's going on. So let's go. This is huge. So Daniel RPK, the scooper, and Deadline.com are reporting unverified reports, not confirmed by Saffron, Gunn, or DC Studios, that Sacha Calle, the young actress who played Supergirl, aka Kara Zor-El in the Flash movie, will not be reprising her role as Supergirl going forward in DC Universe. As well as that, we're hearing that Supergirl will cameo in Superman Legacy. Considering they're adapting the Supergirl graphic novel, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, I'm not quite sure how they make this cameo in Superman Legacy a reality. We will see. The other news, I'm not finished with the Supergirl stuff yet, but the other breaking news is that James Gunn has cast his brother yet again. We know he's going to be playing Weasel in Creature Commandos. We knew he played Weasel in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. But now apparently, according to Daniel RPK and Deadline.com, he's been cast as Maxwell Lord. Maxwell Lord will not appear, according to Deadline.com, and Daniel RPK will not appear in Superman Legacy, but his presence will be felt. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So when you think of the perfect actor to play Maxwell Lord, you don't think of Sean Gunn, do you now? But Sean Gunn is a very talented individual. That cannot be denied, whether he's related to the director or not. He's a talented guy. But does that talent justify him playing Maxwell Lord? Well, there's only one way to find that out. Well, we see him as Maxwell Lord. A lot of people, this has again divided DC fans. It doesn't take much to divide DC fans these days. Some people are angry, some people think it's great. It's an interesting piece of casting. Am I surprised? Of course I am. I mean, you wouldn't normally be surprised because James Gunn's cast his brother in something, but wow. As Maxwell Lord, predominantly Sean has been playing voices and, creatures, being the voices behind creatures. So this is a very, very interesting piece of casting, if true. Do I think either of these rumours are true? I mean, look, they're coming from Deadline.com. They're coming from Daniel RPK. Daniel RPK is a bit like Marmite. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong. But I mean, Deadline.com, also, they were the ones that said that Henry Cavill was going to appear a couple of summers ago at Comic-Con to talk about his Superman future, and it never happened. So again, they're like Marmite. They can be right and they can be wrong. But Deadline.com are a very, very respectable source in Hollywood for information. So this stuff could be true and it might not be true. But and again, this video will be uploaded on Sunday morning. That's when you'll be able to watch this video. By then, the situation may have changed. James Gunn may have clarified or denied the situation. That's what happened. I'm a very busy guy. I can't, I have to record videos ahead of time. I want content out there. I want you guys and gals to be informed. But yeah, so this is when I do my videos. And don't worry, coverage on Doctor Who on my platforms will continue as I will react to the giggle with a full half-an-hour review here, a little 3-minute reaction on X, which will come probably tomorrow, and my Instagram tomorrow. And I may do a little 3-minute video on X after the episode airs. But I don't know why I'm telling you that, because by this time you're watching this video and that would have been past tense. But normally I post my Doctor Who videos, my reviews for the episode, and they post on Monday. But anyway, going back to DC, I think all of this is off the Richter scale. First, what do I think if it's true that Sacha Calle will not be reprising her role as Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl? Well, she was announced with huge fanfare as Flash director Andres Muschietti did a video telling her that she got the role. She was very relatable and sweet and humble and adorable, and we all loved her straight off the bat. I remember doing a live, I remember the excitement. I was excited too, but I didn't know with that excitement that they were using her to replace Henry Cavill as Superman. As I've always said, and my stance has not changed, Supergirl and Superman should be on screen together. So if she is going to cameo in Superman Legacy, that's great. Look, am I surprised that she could be replaced? No, I'm not surprised one little bit. I thought Sacha did do a solid job in the Flash movie, but can she hold a whole movie? That's a question probably Gunn and Saffron have been asking themselves, and maybe the answer to that question is no. But I don't know her that well as an actor. I've only seen her play Supergirl. And she was a soap actor before then, but Brandon Routh was a soap actor before he played Superman in Superman Returns, and he did a damn good job in that movie. But every case should be judged on its individual merits. But we do live in an era of identity politics, and it is Hollywood and people like Gunn themselves who claim to be the white knights of marginalized society, marginalized people from society, minorities. And this is a Latinx actress who was cast as Supergirl, and it would be very, very uncomfortable for them if they were to replace her, for example, with a white American actress. I'm not saying that would be the wrong decision, depending on who it is, but it would be very, very uncomfortable for them. But even if they replace her with another, minority actor, it's going to be uncomfortable if they do officially announce they're replacing her as Supergirl. And maybe they'll give her another role in DC Universe. I mean, this is what Gunn claimed about Henry Cavill as well, that he's discussed with him playing another character. And we will see if that comes, if that comes to the boil. But yes, you've already, look, the problem is, right, if she is recast, this is more evidence that this is more of a hard reboot than a soft reboot of the DC Extended Universe if they recast her. So I don't know if it's a shock or not, to be honest with you. I mean, I said a long time ago, I did a video months ago, many moons ago, saying it was 50-50 whether they would keep her or not. Clearly, they have an idea in who they want to play Supergirl. Whether it's Sacha or whether it's somebody else, we're going to have to wait and see. But I'm always sad for any actor who loses their job. I'm an actor, low down the scale, who couldn't get work, who failed to make it in Hollywood. People keep on reminding me of that. Mainly because I was partying too hard. The parties are pretty good out in Hollywood, but I should have been, doing my pitches and, going to audition appointments and things like that. And I was very naughty and I didn't. So as an actor over here in Cyprus, after being on a reality show, I decided to buy my own theatre, a rundown theatre, team up with an amateur dramatic society and write and direct and perform in my own place. So at least I could do the thing that I love the most in this world, which is self-expression. But I feel bad for any artist who loses their job. You've got to put yourself in Sacha's place. You've been offered a role as the DCEU Supergirl. You imagine going forward being in your own movie, cameoing in others. A huge future for you, and that's taken away. Now, at the time, it was before the Discovery merger, but the Discovery merger changed everything because Zaslav came in and saw a poorly run IP, a poorly run franchise, and he wanted to create a DC Studios, which was the right decision. He wanted to, people who could absolutely run DC Studios. Safran was already there, involved with the DCEU. I think Safran is a good guy, mainly, even though he's part of the old DCEU, which wasn't very successful. When you see him talk on BTS of DC movies, he does seem to have his head screwed on well. And, we weren't getting anything from, Walter Hamada. He was the only one talking at the time. And, so he brought in James Gunn with Safran, and this is the decision Zaslav decided to make. Now, Gunn was always going to do a Superman film, whether he became co-CEO of DC Studios or not. That needs to be reiterated right here, right now, by me. It's a very difficult situation for Sacha, very sad situation as an artist for Sacha, but there you go. Deadline.com and Daniel RPK are saying that she will not be reprising her role as Supergirl. And as I say, I get very sad when anyone in this game loses their job. But it's a very fragile environment, Hollywood and the entertainment industry, and you can be replaced at any time, from no fault of your own. Because I don't think she's done anything wrong. She's behaved herself online. She hasn't been controversial. She's not being removed because she has a stance on Israel or Palestine or anything like that. She's unlucky. If she's lost her job, she's just unlucky. But this is not the type of information that should be leaking out before Sacha knows about it. Now, I'm not sure if she has been replaced. Maybe Sacha already knows. But we've had plenty of examples since Zaslav's taken over. For example, the shelving of Batgirl. The directors and artists didn't know about it, and it was announced, not leaked, it was announced by Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery before he even informed the directors, and the directors could inform the artists and everyone involved with that movie. That, my friends, is bad manners in this industry, and it didn't go down well with anyone. Whether you approve of that movie being shelved or not, it's bad business, it's bad etiquette in this industry that we work in. It's not the way you run things, and it was definitely bad manners. And I know, let's just say I know about the Batgirl movie now. It wasn't so bad, and that should have at least been released on HBO Max, but he wanted the tax write-off, and he chose the movie he thought would make the less money and would get him less heat. It turned out shelving Batgirl got him more heat than anything else because, again, the actress playing Batgirl was a minority actor. And again, that didn't go down well. And it's a shame that basically everyone won't get to see that movie because, as I say, it wasn't so bad. These are the directors of Bad Boys for Life. So you can imagine these are good directors. So he decided not to shelve the Flash movie, a problematic movie. He decided not to shelve Shazam! Fury of the Gods, a problematic movie. He decided not to shelve Blue Beetle, a problematic movie. But Batgirl got punished and it didn't look good. And, again, we look at Sacha Calle, a Latinx actor. And as I say, if she was to be replaced by a white American, this wouldn't go down well. For me, right now, although I'm gutted for Sash, I'm also very excited to see who they cast. As you know, I'm not one for fan castings. I want to see the best person for the job. And if that's someone who's just left drama school, all the better for it. We never heard of Christopher Reeve. When he played Superman, we never heard of Brandon Routh. I never heard of Henry Cavill before Man of Steel. And that turned out okay. Well, it turned out okay for me. Helen Slater was a great Supergirl. Everyone may not agree with that, but I do. Mel Benoist was a great Supergirl. The show let her down, but she was a great Supergirl herself. So it's not about being a name. It's not about fan casting. So we'll see who they choose there. But yeah, it will leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And I think people are really going to wait until James Gunn clarifies or denies these leaks. He's been very quiet on this thus far. He has been speaking a lot to fans, mainly on threads, because he doesn't do much on Twitter anymore. He pops up now and again, but because the Snyder fans have really been bullying him on Twitter, he keeps off of there and focuses where he's more welcome, which is on threads, and clearly his ideology doesn't approve of Musk and Twitter and all of that anyway. So he's been speaking a lot. But this is interesting. When James Gunn is faced with a problem, he sometimes goes quiet, and he does keep quiet about certain situations when shit hits the fans. He doesn't always respond immediately. When there was a Facebook post where he seemed to be criticizing, Tim Burton's Batman, blah, 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 he was very quiet for a long time. Then he kind of revealed that his Facebook was hacked. Was that true? Wasn't it true? Don't ask me. How am I supposed to know? It's way above my head. But, yeah, he does need to react. I mean, he reacts to a lot of leaks. This is the type of leak that he needs to, talk about immediately. We're talking about a young woman being replaced. We're talking about his brother being cast, as a very, very important character in the DC universe. And let's twist this around to Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord. Again, just rumours at the moment, but the source is very, very good. Daniel RPK is a good scooper. I don't particularly like him that much, and he's blocked me ages ago, so I would say I don't like him. Mick, you don't get on with anyone, do you? I'm straight, direct, which means people don't like me, but that's good. Because if people can't handle a bit of straight talk, don't be on the internet. I don't bully people. I don't criticize their appearance. How could I? I'm not personal. I only talk about the subjects at hand. If you post something and I have an opinion on it, positive or negative, I'll give you my view. But I won't go at you personally. People come at me personally. I'm a dyslexic. People make fun of my spelling and my punctuation when they don't agree with what I've got to say. I actually have to reread, everything before I post on social media 5 or 6 times because of my dyslexia. But you can't help getting things wrong. But when I make a good take, they don't know how to find my Achilles heel. So they have to make fun of my one weakness, which is spelling, and punctuation, which is a shame. That's, it will be like you being overweight and me making fun of you being overweight. It'd be like you being underweight and me making fun of your weight. It'd be like me, if you were disabled, because, being dyslexic is an official disability. But these people don't have the brains. Their pay is just to have a good piece of discourse. They have to make fun of you. But anyway, yes, the Sean Gunn situation, is going to come across like not too well by some section of the fandoms because he's already playing Weasel. And, he did use him at Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy as well. There's nothing wrong with using your talented brother. If I was a big, powerful director and I had a talented brother, I'd use him too. But I think in terms of, Maxwell Lord, as I say, that's not the first actor I think of when thinking about Maxwell Lord. But then I wouldn't think of Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. And even though I feel that Pedro delivered an outstanding performance in Wonder Woman 84, he was really the only decent thing about that movie. He's no Maxwell Lord. Because let's be honest, Pedro never seems to put on an accent. He's just playing Pedro. But he is a very good deliverer of dialogue. He is a good actor. Let's not get it twisted. But I think we can say that Pedro Pascal is a better pick for Maxwell Lord than Sean Gunn, looking at it from now. But it could be another Ben Affleck situation, where We don't think he's going to be very good, that he's just been chosen via nepotism, but in fact, he turns out being a very good Maxwell Lord. Because here's the thing, one thing we shouldn't get twisted is Sean Gunn is a very talented lad. He's, he may have had his opportunity because he's James Gunn's brother, no question about that, but at the end of the day, he is talented, and I do believe he can pull this character off. But, when you think about it, you think, Sean Gunn, Maxwell Lord, it doesn't really compute, does it? But, I think that sometimes you get surprise castings. Look, if he wasn't the guy's brother, he wouldn't be getting the job. Simple as that. We would never have heard of Sean Gunn if he wasn't James Gunn's brother. We already know that. But he is James Gunn's brother. I mean, Jonah Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, works with Chris and has done his own stuff. But Jonah is a very talented writer. But would he have been able to get the introduction to the industry to get work if he wasn't Christopher Nolan's brother? No. See, the problem with the nepotism in Hollywood is they pretend they're an inclusive business, that they're an inclusive and representative town. But really, they just give each other work. Whether they're women, whether they're black, whether they're Asian, it's only the people with the Hollywood DNA, who actually get the work. Whatever they look like, they may look like marginalised people, they may look like minorities, but really, they're just part of the Hollywood family, and that's why they're getting work, and they pretend it's representation and inclusion. And you and I know the truth, that it's utter bullshit. All they do is give each other work. Now and again, you may see an outsider get lucky, but that, my friends, is very, very rare. So in the element of, James Gunn giving his brother lots of work, that's not a surprise. That's something that's been going on in this industry for the past 100 years. It's nothing new. It's nothing that you should be surprised about, or I should be surprised about. But in terms of Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord, let's be honest about it, it's off the Richter scale. You didn't go to bed last night and go, when I wake up, I'm going to find out that Sacha Calle has been replaced as Supergirl, although it was always a possibility. I think Sean cast as Maxwell Lord is a bigger shock than Sacha being handed her cards. Look, James Gunn didn't owe Henry Cavill or Sacha Calle or any other existing DCEU actor anything. He's the new boy on campus. He's doing something new. And I always said this was going to be more of a hard reboot than a soft one. And everyone was talking about soft reboots. Listen, the DC universe is spun off from the DCEU. We know that. The Flash movie has led to DC universe in the multiverse, and that's how they're working it. But, which to some people will be, well, that's a soft reboot, Mick. But if you look at what he's doing and how different this universe will be, I think that makes it more of a hard reboot than a soft reboot. And with the rumours of Supergirl appearing in Superman Legacy, it's yet another cameo, it's yet another DC character. And there's a lot. I mean, there will be the accusation when this film comes out of being overstuffed. We got that with Batman Returns as well. I mean, they accused BVS of being overstuffed, and it wasn't. We had a few seconds of Cyborg, a few seconds of The Flash, and Wonder Woman got quite a bit of screen time, but it didn't make the film overstuffed. I mean, the extended edition's 3 hours long. Plenty of time to have those characters just turn up for a few seconds. So all these cameos have to be handled responsibly. But as I've mentioned many times, James Gunn is trying to give us a populated, living and breathing DC universe. And at the very least, I really like that this is going to be a fully formed, I don't know if we're already got a Justice League, but it's a fully populated DC universe. That's exciting. We're going to have a Hawk Girl. We're going to have one of the Lanterns in Superman Legacy. And just to reiterate that Maxwell Lord, according to Deadline.com, will not appear in Superman Legacy, but his presence will be felt in the film. So now, We know that Lex Luthor is going to be in this movie. We pretty much know who's been cast as Lex Luthor. Could have been worse. Sean Gunn could have been cast as Lex Luthor. Actually, maybe a better Lex than Maxwell Lord. But anyway, let's not go there. We're getting a great actor as Lex Luthor. So we know that he'll be involved somewhat in Superman Legacy, which of course is exciting. But as these casting news comes out, there will be some controversies. Now, Kurt Russell has been asked whether he's playing Jor-El in Superman Legacy because that was the rumour. He said, yeah, bring it on. I'd love to give Marlon Brando a run for his money, which probably means it's not him. It looks like the Kurt Russell rumours were leaked just to distract us from who actually is going to get that job. And I believe whoever does get it, and I don't think it's Kurt Russell, will be a big deal. But don't be surprised if Kurt Russell gets the gig as Pa Kent. I think Kurt Russell would be a better Pa Kent than he would be, than he would be a Jor-El. Now, if you're asking me about Mark Kent, well, Madeline Stowe would be perfect. I mean, if you're looking at the Diane Lane kind of school of thoughts there, Madeline Stowe was a vibrant, talented actress, beautiful. She's obviously going to be older now, but she's still very glamorous. And I can see Madeline Stowe and Kurt Russell as a couple. Why? Because they've already been an on-screen couple before in Unlawful Entry with the late Ray Liotta. So that kind of thing would really work for me. So don't be surprised if Kurt Russell is Pa Kent rather than Jor-El, because I don't see him as Jor-El. I see someone just slightly maybe a bit younger, bit more youthful looking, not too young, but certainly not Kurt Russell. But I think he is Pa Kent. Who's going to play Mark Kent? I mean, my suggestion is Madeline Stowe, but it could be absolutely anyone. So that's your headlines right now, right here, on recording on a Saturday morning. Hello, Sunday morning. That's when you're watching me or whenever you're watching this video. As I said, things could have changed and updated. And of course, I will absolutely update you because tomorrow I've got to record my review for The Giggle, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary episode, the final one, The Giggle. That's very important. But if there's any update on this, I will do a short 5-minute video. So you're all updated as well. And you'll get the Giggle review on Monday morning. Don't forget about that either. There's so much going on in entertainment right now. The strikes are over. The deal with SAG-AFTRA and obviously the studios and the networks and the streamers has been ratified and agreed. So they're back. So you're going to be hearing about a lot more movies that are in development. You're going to be hearing about a lot more DC Universe casting. But as James Gunn said, all he cares about right now is Superman Legacy. Because if Superman Legacy doesn't do well at the box office, there's no Supergirl. There's no Brave and the Bold. There's no nothing. It's quite as simple as that. It's this movie that has to win you over as an audience. And it has to win me over as well. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know, who knows how it's going to work or if it's not going to work. We have to wait and see, everyone. But these are big decisions, if these are true. That Sacha Calle won't be returning as Supergirl. He's going to get a lot of heat for that. Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord. He's definitely in some quarters going to get heat for that. But for me, and again, I'm very sorry if Sacha has lost her job, but for me, we have to see how this all plays out. We have to wait and see if he confirms or denies any of this, because these are huge rumours. And I'm not sure if they're true or false right now. They certainly wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not going to put my dwindling reputation on the line and say to you, oh, this is definitely true or not. I simply don't know enough on this to tell you either way. But Deadline.com and Daniel RPK are very, very good scoopers. So, well, Daniel is a good scooper. And Deadline.com, a great site. Been around for decades, generations. They're very respected in Hollywood. So you would imagine, if they're saying this, there's a 75 to 95% chance that all of this is true? Get in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about Sacha Calle potentially being recast as Supergirl. And what do you think of Sean Gunn potentially playing Maxwell Lord? Is it just another story of Hollywood nepotism, or are you happy about the casting?